Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just got back from the new film 2016 Obama's America. I originally thought this would be like Mad Max meets Life After People, and it would be like show Obama's policies, and then it'd be like, and that's why we live in this dystopian future, possible future. And I thought that would be really cool, because I like possible future movies, so I thought that would be what this is. And it wasn't. I think the film's a little mistitled because they don't really get into what would happen in 2016 till like the end, which was disappointing. You follow this guy, Dinesh D'Souza, much like Michael Moore. This is conservative propaganda, whereas he made liberal propaganda. And it's really, there's a lot of elements to this film that I find very similar to Fahrenheit 9/11. First off, that it is a documentary that is cashing in on the upcoming election. And you follow Dinesh D'Souza. And like Michael Moore, you follow him, you see the whole story through him. He interviews the people, you know, you learn his story about how he's from India. You learn about all these great things he does. And he establishes himself, much like Moore early on, that he's smart. He's like you. You know, he has this exchange when he gets to the college he goes to about this guy saying, man, India is so great. And he's like, what's so great about India? Is it the arranged marriages? Is it colonialism? All this stuff. And he was like, no, India, man. It's like South Park. You establish that the kids in South Park are smarter than the parents. And so you as an audience member think that the kids in South Park are smarter. And just like that, Dinesh D'Souza is a smart guy, so you're going to follow him, and he wins you over. And it's like how Michael Moore in Bowling for Columbine. Early on in the film, he goes and he gets the gun with the bank account, and it's very humorous, and it's funny, and, you know, and you, as an audience member, get on his side. And Dinesh D'Souza does that really early on. It's like character development. You know, it's character development in a documentary. And what he does is he builds a relationship with you. And then he's like, and now we're going to talk about Obama's father, and how supposedly Obama's father influenced him to be the way he is, despite not really knowing him at all. What it does is it kind of creates this whole black and white scenario where Obama was misled by these radicals, by these leftists, by these people who don't like capitalism, and how capitalism is a great thing. Look at China, look at all these places that now capitalism has given them booming economies, but these people are against capitalism, and that's bad. And it uses kind of the typical propaganda idea that you're preaching to the converted. Much like in Fahrenheit 9/11, I remember seeing that in a theater, the AMC on 19th Street, and everybody was for it, and they clapped, and it was like, does it matter that you're telling these people this? Because they already know it, they agree with it, and that's the same thing with this film. I don't think it's going to change anyone's opinion. In Fahrenheit 9/11, it's an anti-Bush movie, right? And in this, it's an anti-Obama movie. But the thing is that both of these are pushing another candidate, basically. Like in the 2004 election, everyone would say just don't vote for Bush. Nobody seemed to really like Kerry that much, but it was like don't vote for Bush. And in Fahrenheit 9/11, they don't mention Kerry. They don't say like, and the good person to vote for would be Kerry because he would do all this stuff, and we agree with him. They don't say that. And in 2016 Obama's America, they never say, but you should vote for Romney because Romney's you know, a lot better, and he won't put us into this huge debt and ruin America and all this stuff. They don't say that. I think Michael Moore is a little better at manipulating people than Dinesh D'Souza is. So I think if I was going to make propaganda, I'd want to make good propaganda. And the problem with this movie is it's just not very good propaganda. When he's interviewing people, he's not very strong. He doesn't feel like he's in control of the interview. When he interviews Obama's half-brother, he feels like he has no control over the interview. He has several interviews with people over the phone where he's holding a phone on camera and someone else is holding a phone on camera, yet they insist on cutting and you hear him through the phone like it's like a movie or something, like a fictional film. But you're like, why don't you just show you both and have me be able to hear both of you well? Like, isn't this a documentary? Isn't that the point? Aren't I supposed to hear these ideas? But it's like, that was bizarre. I didn't really understand that. He didn't seem to have the confidence to hold down these interviews. I think he just is really committed to these ideas. Clearly, Dinesh D'Souza has an ego about himself, much like Michael Moore, and even like Morgan Spurlock. I get why he does it. It's a way to manipulate your audience and get them to feel for your side and give them kind of a protagonist in a documentary, when documentary is really mainly supposed to document things, and you're supposed to give information, but bringing a protagonist in gives it a little more showmanship, gives it a little more entertainment, and gives you someone to root for and someone to follow through your quest. I'm not a fan of that kind of documentary. I think it's kind of dull, and it's a little like when that person's talking, they're kind of talking down to you in the narration. I always feel that way with D'Souza, Michael Moore, Bill Maher in his Religulous documentary. They're smart, all these other people are dumb, follow their idea, this is their hypothesis and their thesis. Frankly, I would prefer this kind of stuff just be on TV. There was really no reason this needed to be in the theater. I guess, you want to show that all these people believe in this and have a nice box office number, and that's cute. D'Souza needs to learn a lot more about filmmaking. The sound was not very good. I don't really understand why it had this weird Linkin Park-y score. I did like the ending, though, where it's like, who will decide if the American Empire will end in 2016 if Obama does this, and the only choice is yours. And I was like, that was what the ending of the Lorax should have been. That was good. I like that. I was like, oh, that's a good end. That's some good propaganda ending there. It's like, you better vote, but we're not saying vote for Romney. We're just saying you should vote, even though it's primarily a two-party system. We know we're being pro-Romney, but we're not being pro-Romney because we're not actually going to say his name. If you have seen 2016 Obama's America and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to. I saw this just to make a review.